Greetings and salutations, my fellow cannabis enthusiasts. Doing a little different kind of video today for the Higher Things Club. For starters, I want to thank all my subscribers. As of the posting of this video, I am at 216 subscribers. And while that is a far cry from those annoying toy opener video channel folks, I am honored to have each and every one of you as a supporter for this silly stoner YouTube channel project. Now that we got the fluffy stuff out of the way, I want to talk about Idaho, aka the Gem State, and how absolutely terrible their cannabis policies are. The reason why I haven't posted a video for over a week is because I was traveling to Idaho for a family reunion with my mom and Grams. Good times with family. I think I ate my weight in potluck food probably, and it was a rad time to be sure, but with one very notable exception. Idaho is home to some of the worst cannabis laws in the entire country. For those that only know me from this YouTube channel, I have a long history fighting for sensible cannabis laws and writing about it, and I point out a lot of this in my blog articles. Let's dive into Idaho's horrific cannabis laws. If you ever want to know a state's cannabis laws, which I always do before I travel somewhere outside of Oregon, I recommend that you check out NORML's database. It's a tremendous resource that makes it very easy to find out a state's weed laws. Here's Idaho's. As you can read in the top section, 3 ounces is the cutoff point. Anything over 3 ounces, and you were looking at a felony charge. That 3-ounce limit was born out of an era where people mostly had cannabis flower. However, there's obviously a lot of other stuff out there these days, including and especially edibles, drinkables, and other consumables and topicals. Having 3 ounces of flower is not something that most people do, but having over 3 ounces of some type of consumable is extremely common these days. Idaho's laws are such that cannabis is defined as the plant and, quote, every derivative preparation of it. That's what the law says. So hash, cartridges, edibles, rubs, weed suppositories, they all seem to be considered the same according to Idaho law, and while there are various legal defenses for someone that has the time and money to fight a charge in Idaho, cops are presumably going to be as big of assholes as possible if they find any form of cannabis in your possession, so be mindful of that when deciding what to sneak across the border. As with any possession threshold, there's always the wild card factor of the coppers claiming that you were intending to distribute it. If you have 2 ounces of cannabis flower in one container in your possession, and like a sneak-a-toke or something like that, you probably don't have to worry as much as the person that is caught with 80 1-gram vape pen cartridges. The latter is probably going to be looking at an intent to distribute charge. And quite frankly, the former is going to be looking at some type of a paraphernalia charge, but we'll get into that later. Let's dive deeper into those intent to distribute penalties. Idaho is home to mandatory minimum sentences for cannabis. You can pause the screen here if you want to see the thresholds or check out the webpage online, but the gist of it is do not get caught in Idaho selling the Giggle Bush, or you're going to be spending some time in the Gray Bar Hotel. For those that think they might want to grow pot in the Gem State, consider these cultivation penalties. Cultivation of up to 1 pound or up to 24 plants of cannabis is a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and or a fine of up to $15,000. This seems like horseshit for a state that is heavily populated with libertarians, but I digress. Here's a roundup of some of the lesser known cannabis policies in Idaho. One that really pisses me off is the misdemeanor offense for having simply used cannabis. That penalty is born out of Idaho's public intoxication laws, and basically, if you have weed in your system, it is essentially assumed that you're intoxicated, and therefore, according to Idaho lawmaker logic, you need to be jailed for 6 months and fined the equivalent of a used 1990s Nissan Sentra. Not to brag, but my bodily fluids are literally illegal in the state of Idaho. Shout out to metabolized THC renegades everywhere. And all of this is happening while cannabis sales are legal in virtually every surrounding state. Consider this fact. Ontario, Oregon is home to only about 11,000 people, and yet 10% of all legal cannabis sales in the entire state of Oregon occur in that tiny little town. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know why that is. In summary, Idaho's cannabis laws suck, and there's only 2 ways to fix that. The first is via legislative action, meaning Idaho's politicians have to pass a bill. Now, keep in mind that Idaho is the only state in the history of the country to veto a CBD-only bill. The cops in Idaho have tried shaking down hemp farmers passing through with their harvests. And lawmakers in Idaho once passed a resolution making it illegal to legalize cannabis. Yes, somehow, some way, politicians in Idaho once found a way to make illegal cannabis even more illegal. But before the crocodile tears start flowing in Idaho, there is a second way to reform cannabis laws, and that's to pass a citizens' initiative, which activists consistently push for in Idaho. So if you see someone out there gathering signatures, make sure to sign. Patients and consumers are counting on it.